I just want to check that there is quite a bit of gore in this one.
Oh,
So,
there's full of gore. Don't you
oh,
worry about that.
man, it's time to join the Gremlins.
Great,
Very good afternoon, Collie. You're welcome. And how are all at Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran?
but obviously nervous about the good weather. A couple of businesses
Yeah.
that go that way, but we've
Oh,
got really interesting movies to talk about. And you know what? Everyone
what?
needs a bit of sunshine now and then, even cinema workers. Although, of course, in typical Collie form, today it's meant to be the hottest day of the year so far, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
maybe not in the
I
northwest, but
think
in
tomorrow it
Ireland.
is. Tomorrow.
And
26 tomorrow. Yeah.
where did I find myself? In a dark room this morning watching a creepy horror movie,
Best
So
for you.
I believe that's what people would call on brand. Now,
Oh, yeah.
having said that about a horror movie, now you mentioned last week that you were really looking forward to this one. We're talking about 28 years later, of course. And I was thinking, it really was the horror movie for people who don't like horror movies because really, there's horrific bits in it. I actually watched it, it was on TV again recently, and I watched it again. It's, for a start, it's not about the zombies, is it? The movie was
No.
never about the zombies. It's always about the people. They're just the MacGuffin and the threat that's there. But really, it's about the people, both the worst of people and the best of people. And you showed the movie, and it was also about Danny Boyle doing something really interesting. Going, I'm going to take this genre of movie, the zombie movie. Everyone's seen this 1,000 times, and I was actually talking to a younger person who'd never seen 28 Days Later, and I was saying why it was so revolutionary, and then I realized they've grown up in it, with World War Z and Walking Dead and all that sort of stuff, where fast zombies, all this other stuff has been done and copied, and you go, oh
Yeah.
well, you see, this hadn't been done before. But anyway, so I went in intrigued because I loved the first movie. The second one I thought was very good, but it didn't have the same, groundbreaking effect on me. I was going,
Well,
how
I
do
thought it
I?
didn't have the same bite.
No, well, nice. Well, this one certainly does. I went in and again, it's the same ingredients of, top-notch director, really good story, and really brilliant actors. The first one would be Cillian Murphy and Brendan Gleeson. This time
Brilliant.
we've Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, who's so good, playing a woman who's ill, and we just don't know what's wrong with her. And we're all thinking, is it something to do with the zombies or not? And Ray Fiennes turned up in a really surprising role. As a matter of fact, for those in the Zoom, I was really, if you've seen the picture of Ray Fiennes at the cover, I was going to wear a cap today, so,
You didn't need
so,
it. You look like
so
him.
no, nobody made the joke. But I really found this. It was brilliant. I have no fingernails left. It is gripping. It's fascinating. But the story took me in a directions I didn't really expect. And I think it's possible if you were going in just expecting a silly horror movie that you might be disappointed. But if you just want to watch a good movie, it is fascinating. And there's still like jump out of your seats. I'm sitting in the director's lounge, the most comfortable seats in the Northwest, and it was of no benefit to me because I was on the edge of it the whole time. Um,
You were.
yeah, it's absolutely gripping for the first moment. I don't want to say too much about the story, but basically it's based around this kid Spike who's grown up on an island and they've managed to live kind of free of the UK has been quarantined, but they're kind of living free of it. But they know they have to go to the mainland to get stuff, and it's a real rite of passage when a kid is old enough to go to the mainland to get stuff. And he's brought over by his dad the first day, and well, things take a turn for the worse and the better. I absolutely love this. And like about halfway through, I went, wow, we're not in a horror movie at all. We're in a totally different psychological thriller. It's moving, it's upsetting. I'll be thinking about it for a long time. There's at least one part that I'm not totally sure I got, which just makes me want to watch it again. I think people are going to really like this. If you like smart movies, and you
Yes.
know what? We're going to be talking a little bit about Sinners because it's the Mr. Monday. It's the same. It's not a horror movie. It has horror bits in it. I think it's really good, really smart, and I think you'll enjoy it, Jimmy.
Okay. And has that opened yet, or is it
That
tomorrow? Or
opens in about 15 minutes, Jamie. So it's open today on Thursday and it's open from then on. Go and see it. And it'll be around. Look, if you can't face it with a couple of sunny days, it'll be around when the rain comes back on Sunday. Go see it.
you have a feeling this is going to be like the biggest, one of the big movies of this year.
Yeah,
You have,
of
haven't you?
its
You feel
type.
it will be.
I think of its type, of its
Yes.
genre, because it is 16, so it's not going to do the business we're going to talk about the next movie. But I think people who really like movies, they're not going to be disappointed if you love 28 Days Later. You're not going to be disappointed by this. Not saying a
Okay.
lot.
Okay. And I just want to check that there is quite a bit of gore in this one.
Oh, there's full of gore. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. Just checking.
But you know
Anyway,
what? Talk
no,
about a handbrake turn of a movie. If, 28 years later is slightly about the worst of people, this is a movie about the best of people. It is the new Pixar movie. It's kind of like E.T. in reverse. Instead of a lonely little boy that an alien comes down to be his friend, he travels to space. Let's play the clip. You'll get a feeling for it.
I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. There's signs I'm supposed to be up there. This mole is the exact shape of the Orion Nebula.
I think you should have that looked at.
Yes! I knew it! I knew it!
I'm Questa, leader of GOM.
Helix, leader of Aluminum.
And you're the leader of?
Earth?
Hear that, everyone? It's the leader of Earth.
Uh-oh.
It's fantastic. And that's only the clip.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jamie, I was gonna have to start knocking on the microphone. Going, we have to go back to the live radio, because you're enjoying the clip there so much. For the listeners, Jamie hadn't seen the clip before, so he's really into that. So it is absolutely classic Pixar at its best. They find a story and they go, I don't know how interested I am in that. And then about 15 minutes in, you're just going, well, this is lovely. And it is lovely. And there's loads of jokes and there's lots of silly falling over jokes that maybe the little ones will like. There's some really clever jokes. And the thing is, they're not clever in, it's a joke about something sexy or about a famous movie or something like that for the adults only. It's just a joke that works on a couple of levels and adults will find it in a different way. But there's loads of little references to sci-fi movies. There's a little bit I was going, that's Close Encounters. I'm sure it's Close Encounters. And then another bit you go, I think that's an alien joke. It's the tamest ever alien joke, but it's just full of loveliness and gorgeousness. So Elio is an orphan, as many a Disney character. He's an orphan and he's living with his aunt. He's obsessed with space and aliens. And he feels that if he was just abducted like all these other people he heard about, he would finally find a friend and he'd finally fit in. And he is, eventually, he through a convoluted way, he ends up in the alien space, but they think he's the emperor of Earth, not a little boy. So they start giving him responsibility to be a top-class diplomat. It is funny, it's lovely. And of course, like all of these movies, it has a huge message about loneliness and kindness and compassion. And I won't lie to you, there was a few tears. And that's one of the things that's funny about this. I don't think the 7-year-olds will cry, but I think the 37-year-olds that bring them might. It's one of those, in the same way Toy Story 3, kids were fine at the end, parents were devastated. It's kind of like that. It is, I don't know if it's quite that high, but it's really, we were very disappointing Lightyear a couple of years ago. And then we'd Inside Out 2, which was great last year. And this is back on form as well. I think it's going to be around all summer. It's absolutely brilliant. Literally one of those movies that for all ages. I don't care what age you are, whether you're 4 or whether you're 85. It's absolutely all ages and it works for everyone. You will be delighted. It is like having a warm hug from your granny. It's that beautiful a movie. But it's also funny and exciting. And there's even a few little scary bits, which, as you know, in kids' movies, kids actually like. We can't, sometimes we're tempted to wrap them up in cotton wool, but they really do like that. I think it's going to be a tremendous hit, even though it might take a little while because people will go, I haven't heard of it. It's not a sequel or something.
I hadn't heard of it.
No, because it's a new movie, but we want to encourage this. We want more new stories to be told. And it's going to be one of those. Kids are going to go and see it with school or something at the end of the summer, and they're going to go back and go, Mum, I want to see that again. You got to bring the rest of the family. It's going to build and build and build. It's absolutely lovely. I highly recommend it.
Okay, well, I like the story and that where he goes up, to the aliens. That's a good take, isn't it?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Take.
And you saw from the clip, the animation is gorgeous. Brilliant, all the aliens are all different races and all different shapes and stuff, and that's brilliant too. Very funny.
Okay, that is Elio. When is that opening?
That opens tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. All right. That's one for the whole family.
Yeah, whole family. All adults too. Yeah, you won't be bored.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Now, something that's opening next week is F1. Lots of stories about this. And, what have you heard?
Yeah, It's good things, actually. And funnily enough, I have to be honest, right? So this is open on Wednesday, so we'll review it properly next week.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. A long time ago, I quite liked Formula One in the Eddie Irvine, Eddie Jordan team days, and
Likewise.
I kind of got fed up with it. It just wasn't. It's not my sport, and it's got really popular again, particularly because of Drive to Survive. And I'm kind of meh. And when they said they were making this movie, and it's all made with the help of all the Formula One teams, I was going, I don't know. Then I saw the trailer, and I was going, oh, maybe, no, I don't know. But the reviews have been stellar. And really what they're saying is it's Top Gun, but in cars. Now, some people will go, well, that sounds like a bad thing. To me, that sounds like a great thing. Because if you remember one of the amazing things about Top Gun Maverick, they put Tom Cruise in the plane and he was operating the cameras. So we weren't faking anything. It was actually the flying shots. So it's kind of with this as well. They say it's as immersive as you can get of being in a race car. That they have the cameras in all sorts of different places. Lewis Hamilton was one of the producers, and they said, they obviously can't make it exactly realistic, but as realistic as possible with just a good old Hollywood story. Brad Pitt is a washed up driver, but he's still doing okay in NASCAR. Never made it to Formula One. An accident happens. He's brought in Formula One. He's the old guy. There's a young rookie. They're batting head. You've seen the story.
You know where this is going.
But if it's done well, it could be really good. And talk about a movie for the big screen. Like, you've seen the clips. What a waste that would be.
It is massive. It looks massive.
Yeah, and massive and loud. Because it has to be like Formula One itself. So we wait to see now. My boss is incredibly excited about this because he likes Formula One. And he's one of those got through into it. Doesn't really like sport, but Drive to Survive was his thing. And he loves...
And I wouldn't mind the weekend that's in it. It's not opening. It's opening after the Donegal rally.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe that's because they know that's where they'll all be. So they're up there. Everyone will be revved up and ready to go. But we'll review it next week. I think this is going to be...
Looking forward to that.
Be really good.
We have 30 seconds on Missed It Monday. You're bringing back Sinners. You love this movie.
I absolutely love this movie. I'm an advocate for this movie. Not enough people saw it. It's absolutely brilliant. I think it might win the best film next year in the Oscars. It has a mix of Irish and blues music, and there may be some vampires. It is absolutely brilliant. It's not about the vampires, though. It's another one of those. Go see it. €5.50.
That is Collie on Movies. Till next Thursday. Enjoy the movies.
Bye.